Welcome to Touched and Empowered, a show created to empower individuals to value their lives by hosting think tank discussions that will inspire positive action. Touched and Empowered with Katie and Ace starts now.
Welcome to this episode of Touched and Empowered. I am Katie with my co-host Ace and our special guest today. Our guest today is Wilnord Louis Charles, who is an advocate for the power of faith and positive thinking. Raised in a family of 6, Wilnord grew up in Haiti, where he learned the importance of resilience, perseverance, and the power of faith. At the age of 33, he moved to the U.S., fulfilling one of his lifelong dreams. Starting from scratch in a new country was not easy, but he used his positive mindset and faith to guide him through difficult times. The skills and knowledge that he gained from multiple mentors fueled his desire to help others achieve success in their lives. Welcome, Wilnord.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
So glad to be here.
Yay, I love that. And it's so interesting because we were going through your bio and I was like, Les Brown, John Tallarica, these are like people that I've worked with. So I am so happy to have somebody here that's aligned with me who has like received this very similar coaching.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you could dive a little more into that, what do you who do you find to be one of your greatest mentors? Is it Les Brown? Is it John? John, we love you. You're going to be on here soon, so you know. Say that no matter what. You're my favorite. So please.
Over the last 4 years, I've been mentored and coached by many people. But the first mentor I got was Les Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
I used to listen to him on YouTube because, you know, sometimes there was a time in life when I came to the US in 2013. I had no friend except for my wife and my daughter, and I didn't know what to do. I was a little lost. So I started looking for help. Then I discovered a few motivation trying to learn English at the same time. And then I discovered Les Brown in one of his speech that looked similar to my life when he was talking about how he grew up with adopted mother, and then he was talking about his life. But one thing he said that really changed my life was when he said, it's possible. It's possible, it's necessary, it's you, it's worth it. Those things when I learned, and he was telling the steps it took to change his life. And I feel like anything is possible. Anything is possible if you really know where you're going, if you have faith. And then I listened to Steve Harvey. He got one of his books, Steve Harvey, he said, every successful people has jumped. Then he was explaining. At first, I did not understand that. But when I was listening, he said, our life is like a parachute. In order for the parachute to be opened, we have to jump. And most of the time in life, we are scared. We don't want to jump.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, jump doesn't mean you're not going to get screws, you're not going to get, you're going to get hurt. But at the end, the job of the parachute is to be open when you jump, when it's in danger. So, and after that, you know, I was surrounded myself with other people like Jack Canfield, other people in my car. When I say surrounded myself, not like mentor me, but over virtually. I listen to the TDs, to the YouTube, and honestly, they really changed my life. And when one of my goals was to meet Les Brown. Then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. And I said to my daughter, maybe I'm gonna send him a letter. I was trying to, one night I was online looking for his address. Maybe I can, because I want to meet him. And then the next night, somebody sent me an email and said to me, you wanna get coached by Les Brown? He has a program. I said, oh yeah. At first, I thought that was like a scam. And they said, if you're interested in doing that, I can send you an email right now. I said, yes, send me the email. So when I look at the email, it looked like real to me. Then I reply to the email, and then I get to the program. with John, and then John coached me for about 6 months in his program called Thinking to Result. That was like one of the best investment I've ever made. Yes, so powerful. And we have to meet many people from his program. I had to be coached by Jack and Phil. Bob Proctor was doing few things. A lot of like great, successful people in this world. So that's basically John, and I could say John and Bob. I could say Les Brown was the first one that really guide me to the world of personal development, because I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know that we can control our life. I didn't know the power of our thought. The thought governs the life, the body and stuff like that. I was like, you just live. But when I get John Talarico, he taught me from taking it to take into result. And then I know, like, it's not about what happened to you, but it's about responding to what happened. So
right.
That's all.
It's the power of the response versus reacting.
React, yes.
And the people that you have mentioned that you have mentored with are phenomenal people in the world of raising the positivity level of the planet, which is what ACE and I are all about. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it yet, but I am part of the Teen Suicide Prevention Society, and this is something that we want everyone to do, is just raise their own personal positivity level, because that will impact the people around you without you having to do anything. Yes. And what you've shared about, the thoughts in our head, I heard a statistic that we have like 35 thoughts a minute where we're talking to ourselves.
Yes.
And the majority of them are negative. So just recognizing that and flipping it to, I don't have to believe that. Let me evict that thought from my brain and implant a thought of positive, of power, of hope, faith, and love, and then move forward in that energy.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Wilnord, it's funny because I have very similar track as well for me.
Yes.
So I didn't know that Les Brown was alive, to be honest. And then I followed him on Instagram, and then I did the same thing where I was like, wait, he has actually a course. There's okay. And then John, of course, did the same thing.
Yes.
Hey, come into thinking into results. And it really is one of the best investments.
Yeah, that's great investment. Yeah.
I think it's incredible that you have that adversity of coming from Haiti and coming to the US and then trying your best to learn English and then finding these mentors out on social media and on YouTube. And then you just kept growing from there. What's your next goal? Like, what is it that you want to see for the world, and how are you acting towards that?
My next goal is I'm working on a platform, as you can see on my social media, WLC Academy of Greatness, because I think that, like Bob Proctor said in one of his program, we were born rich. And when he was talking about rich, does not necessarily mean money. People think it's money, but we were born with everything that we need to get a good life. And for some reason, some people get it and other people do not get it. My goal is to help others discover who they really are and how they can change their life through what I've been through already and what I realized over the time, that we can govern our life. We can take control over what happened to us. And one thing, when I grew up in Haiti, things was really tough. And if you look at my book, you can see we were 8 people living in a small bedroom with dirt floor. And the thing about it, the 10 closest house to my neighborhood, they were dirt floor too, including my 2 grandmothers' houses. So basically, environment where I grew up was poverty. But over the time, I realized that you can change your life, and your past is not really your identity. When you discover who you are, you can do anything in this life. That's why I said, you know what? my next goal is to build a platform where I can interview other people who was already successful, who've been through things in life. I can share my story to show other people that it is possible. It is really possible that you can move from this step to your next best you. And your next best you is really possible if you take the steps. But most of the time, we just don't know. So my goal is to teach people what they don't know about their life and how they can take their life to the next level.
Beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So I have a question. What was the biggest struggle that you had and the choice that you made to go forward with a positive attitude instead of being a victim?
All right. I got so many in my life. But one of the challenges I got was when I was in college, because when I was 14 and I saw my parents, they were struggle to make end meets every day. And I was like questioning myself, like, why life has to be so difficult? If life is so difficult, it doesn't really, why is like worth living? It's such difficult life. And I was like a good observer. I was looking around my family to see what they're doing. And they were working so hard to reach end needs. And I made a decision because my dad always thought about like education. He said, education is the only thing that can take you to a different level in your life. And when my mom also always, try to get a better life for herself, because she used to raise from houses to houses, because she was with a single mother. Life was really tough for her, even like small ages, but their goal was for us not to go through the same thing. So at the age of 14, I was in middle school. I made a decision. I said, the only thing I can do to help my family change their life is to go to college. Then I worked so hard, even the difficult time I used to go to school. Me and my sister, we had one backpack. We shared the same backpack. We shared the same book sometimes, but we still go to school because we know the best thing is coming. If anytime we can take one more step, we're closer to our success. We are closer to our better life. Then when I went to college, after graduating from high school, I went to college far from my parents, and then they couldn't pay the rent. They couldn't pay my rent. Then I have to face one of the greatest challenges in my life, because they come ask me to leave the house. The two guys came in the afternoon. They said, and by tomorrow, if you don't leave the house, we're going to put all your stuff outside. And I was shocked. Then I said, I have two choices. Either I find a way to stay in college and continue to help my family, continue to help my life, change my life, or either I just give up back to my hometown and stay. Then I made a decision. And sometimes when you get lost in life, the best thing to do is to sit down, because if you lost, that means you doesn't know where you are. You have to stop. You do not know where you are. I stopped, and I was like, what should I do? And I prayed. Then I called one of my friends. I said, this is what happened. He said, okay. I said, I have to leave the house. I don't know what I'm going to do. He said, okay, I got a small room. I can take you with me, but I'm not going to have a place to put your stuff. You cannot bring your stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. I had to call on one of my other friends, one of my other neighbors, to say, can you help me? Because I don't have a place to put my stuff. She said, this is fine. You can put your stuff here in this small room. Then I went to my friend, and I stayed for like 4 months. But I graduated college, and I got a job. I was the first one in my family to get a salary. I got a job at the bank, because we were the first. I was the firstborn. I am the firstborn. I got the first job. Then I could help my parents, my mom, pay their debt, and help my little brother and little sister also graduate from school and go to college. That was one of the greatest challenges I got, is overcome to stay in college.
That warms my heart.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you.
And I love what you said. If you don't know where you're going, just stop. Just pause. Just sit down, take a couple of deep breaths, pray, and something, whether it be God or your higher intuition, your connection to source, whichever faith you believe, you will receive guidance. You just have to be still and open to receive it.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we're all rushing around so much, right? Like there's things that we got to do. We're in a society that encourages stress for whatever reason. And it's really interesting that through all your stress, you're able to pause.
Yes.
And I think if all of us knew just the power of that, just the power of that one moment of silence to receive what you need, right?
Yes.
That can go a very long way. And that could actually be the start of your success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm so happy that you're here with us because, you know, Touched and Empowered is all about finding those stories of adversity, being able to break through and make it, right?
Yes.
And I think you're saying yes, yes. And I love that. That means you're saying yes to life. And that's something that yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when people do that, I'm like, more people, in my opinion, when they start doing that, it's not like you're saying yes out of submission, but you're saying yes out of either agreement, understanding, and then also you're saying yes to the next door. So
Yes.
I want, yeah, right. And it's so funny when you mentioned that you thought about how am I going to meet Les Brown? You asked that question to the universe, Mr. Manifester. That's great. That's wonderful. And then you got your answer. If more people understood, you just have to pose a question.
Yes. You know what? Life has a way to test people. When you said you really want something in life, life has a way to test, to prove. Because faith not tested cannot be,
Yeah.
proved. You cannot be, how are you gonna tell people if you never get tested in life?
Mhm.
So life sometimes gonna hit you badly to see, like you said you want it, but do you really want it? Do you really want to pay the price for what you want? And I think in Taking Courage, he was talking about when you want something in this life, you have to make this thing a burning desire and ready to give the remaining of your life for this cause. So sometimes in life, this is what we have to do. If you really want to go to the next level, if you're going to change your life, you know?
Yeah.
That is true. And that reminds me of something that I heard the other day. Someone was explaining the hero's journey, where we go through the process of being uncomfortable to the big conflict, to finding a mentor, and then being able to come to a resolution. And
Yes.
one of the things they talked about is that what we don't realize during that hero's journey, when you come to resolution, your role changes. You're no longer the hero. You are now a mentor for somebody else.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I never thought of about the struggles I've gone through, the struggles my family has gone through, as to how that has positioned me to be a mentor for somebody who's going through that situation right now. And that is just amazing that you've been able to go through that, the struggles that you went through, and without realizing it, be the mentor for your younger siblings.
Yes.
Yeah. And so many more. So in this platform, when's the, so I'm gonna pull a John Tallarico on you. When's the date? Huh?
The date, actually, I already started doing, I started already.
Great.
But what I'm doing now is to make sure by the end of September is my birthday anyway, send me some gifts.
Where can we send you gifts? We have to make sure we can, do you want me to tell you, how do you want us to send you gifts?
Yes, of course. And then so what I'm planning to do, what I'm doing is to make sure by September I can I can start a podcast, a podcast, and then continue finish my YouTube channel. Actually, I do everything on Facebook and Instagram, but I can finish my YouTube channel. That's one of my two great projects, so I can reach more people,
When's your birthday?
September 4th.
September 4th. So September 4th.
Pretty much in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Anything's possible.
Yes.
All we have to do is throw it out into the universe and ask, and we sometimes receive. So
yes.
I am all for believing in that. And what you're doing with the Facebook Lives and the Instagrams and wanting to get that onto YouTube. On a side note, one of the things that I found is there are ways to easily share what you already have up on Facebook and Instagram to your YouTube channel. So that might be something just to make it a little bit easier for you to get things moving in that direction.
Thank you so much for the advice.
You're welcome.
I love that. Isn't it interesting how like there's such great content out there? Being able to record it, have it here, and then be able to share it and distribute it. You know, a lot of really great motivators kind of need help with that, right? Like they can speak. All of their focus is on speaking, getting it out there. The second part is the how do we get it out there? Like what's the platform? What's the channel? There are many amazing people out there that are willing to help you. What I find funny, and I'm wondering if you're going through the same challenge, and we're going to be real here. When distributing your content, who do you feel, do you have a hard time trusting marketing companies? Do you have a hard time trusting somebody who can actually take your baby of content and bring it to the masses?
I am actually working with a coach. They do marketing. It's something that we are working on now. When I get set up everything, or they can help me promote my promote everything I'm doing on social media. So basically those guys, this is what they do, they promote businesses and everything. So I'm pretty sure I should be all right with them.
Ah, that's great. Do you hear that? It's like, all right, it's challenging. No, it's not. I got a coach. That's what he just said.
But that's exactly the thing, though. There are times that we have challenges in our lives, and all we really need sometimes is that coach, that mentor, that guide to just step in for 5 minutes, 5 months, and help guide us through this tricky time that we're trying to figure out. And I'm right there with you. I am not good at marketing. I am trying to figure out social media. I've been at it for quite some time. But that's okay, because I know that there are people that I'm connecting with through our podcast, through interviews on other podcasts, and just general introductions, that I'm going to meet that one person that I'm going to align with, like Ace.
Exactly.
With Ace, it was align and we have a podcast. I'm going to find someone who I'm going to align with, and they're going to do all my marketing for me, so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
At first, when I started those things, I was like, how I'm going to do that? How I'm going to get the content, do the Facebook, do the YouTube. But we have other people around us for everything that we basically need. And most of the time, which we focus on like doing everything. I want to do the Facebook, I want to do the photo shoot, I want to do the videos. But other people can do that. If you can create content, what you have to do is focus on creating content. Because sometimes the time you waste on doing like how I'm going to set up the video, I'm going to set up those other things, it's easy for somebody who already know how to do that. They get it quick. But you spend the time for you to do the content or do the writing on those things. But first, you're going to have to do that because, financially, you might not be ready to get somebody or someone for everything that you need. But what I realized in life, the thing that we need to be successful, either in us already or is in somebody around us. We just have to discover that.
Yeah. Also, I love that. I'm going to tag on to that as well. If you have a big mission in your life, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, I just came from an LGBTQ conference. If you have a big mission and you need to get it moving, the universe will throw you everything you need to get you moving. It really will, like in your face. Even if you're blind to it, sometimes it'll hit you with it. Like as if it's a big mission and people need you.
And I remember, I'm so glad you say that, because I remember when I started in taking into result program, I said I want to meet Les Brown. My goal is to meet Les Brown. And And I said, like, John, when, how I'm gonna get people to speak, how I'm gonna get people to coach. He said, don't worry about how. Don't worry about how you're gonna get that. He said, you need to take action every day. Take massive action. This is your job, is to take action. He said, and you have to celebrate. Do not ignore, like, because it's too small, 1 people, 2 people, just do what you have to do. Keep moving forward. And he said, everything is coming. And then after I went to Think into Result program, then John organized one of the event in Georgia. And I got to meet Les Brown, sit down and get, not only to meet Les Brown, but we get lunch together. We got lunch together.
Oh, gosh.
And, you know, so we got pictures, we got lunch. He has to ask me question. I have to ask him question. You know, that's like when you open your heart to the universe, everything will come. Everything will come. The only thing you have to be honest. You have to be serious. You have to, you know, you just need to really want it. You know, if you really want it, so things will come. It might not be like so easy, 1, 2, 3, but I do not really believe in instant gratification. I believe in,
Great, because I don't
either. I do not believe in instant gratification. Because what I realized, like, you know, I got one of my video and that says, what we're doing is so strong. If you're going to get a building for like 200 floors, can you put that in like a weak foundation? The foundation has to be strong. So that's why, like, sometimes in life, where you're going is so far, it's so big, what you want to accomplish, it's going to take you time to make sure you build it.
Yes.
Because anything in life can break you, anything can like just mess you up. But if you got a strong foundation, so I'm pretty sure when you face adversities, you face obstacles, you will overcome everything.
I'm smiling ear to ear because that's music to my ears. It's so true. Like, you can't just, you know, when you see people and you're like, how did they get that so easily? I'm like, because they didn't.
Yeah.
that probably took 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. There's a bunch of books out there about, like, you know, the 10,000 hours mastery. To be very honest, and I agree with this concept, when you are at a level of mastery, it's because it took you 10 years. Even like if you had 6 months of off time, it's still in that 10 years. 10 years of being thoroughly freaking refined by adversities, by obstacles. Like, the testament after those 10 years is how strong you are. And that's you had to keep moving through it. So I love that you say that, because it's so true. Instant gratification. I'm like, no, that's
it took 10, you know, a 10-year overnight success.
Yes. Where we're going most of the time is the objective, where we want to reach. But the process to get there, people don't see the process.
Right.
But sometimes in life, people see you at the top, where you are at the top, where you reach the here. This is what people see you. And people say, like, this is what Kadi, I want to be like Kadi. I want to be, you know, I want to be like her. But they don't know. They don't know the things, the obstacles you've been through in your life in order for you to get there. They don't know that. People see you, people see the story, but people see the glory, but they don't know the story. A lot of people go through things in life. Let's say some people want to do things in life. But what they do is they say, you know what? I want to become successful. I want to be like Les Brown. I want to be like John Talarico. But they see John Talarico at the top.
Right.
But they don't know, like, when he started, you know, the adversities he had when he was a child, when he had to go to the program, what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So people don't see those things. And this is where you get messed up, because you have to go to the process. The process is here to build you. It's like the muscle. You go to the gym, people see you like, you look good, but they don't really know, like, the step you have to take to build those muscle. And it's the same for the mind. You have to build those mind muscle, because other than that, you will go through things and you're going to give up. Anything you get started, you give up. But it's not going to be easy. It's not so easy, you know? Yeah.
I love that. It's true. Because, you know, it's funny. So somebody once told me, I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire. I'm like, are you ready to be broke?
Yes.
Because that's actually where you find out if you're going to be one or not, is the moment when you are literally at that bottom. Because the thing is, you have to be strong enough to handle all of that as you get there.
Yeah. And Tracy Brown said something that I like. He said, becoming a millionaire is not the problem. It's the person you have to become.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The person you have to become. Because sometimes, let's say, you want to become a motivational speaker. But because you want to become a motivational speaker, you have to take some communications classes. You have to meet certain people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go through some night, to study. You have to do many, many things before you get there. That's the process. You become different people while you're working toward your goals. You become journalists. You become like many, 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 many people, in order for you to be something that you want to reach for. So, yeah.
So, unfortunately, our time is coming close to the end, which I'm with Ace. I'm like, I don't want the conversation to end. So to try and wrap this up, as much as I don't want to, what is one golden nugget? What is this pearl of wisdom that you can share with everyone for us?
What I can share with everyone is to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Because what happened to us, we underestimate ourselves. We judge ourselves too much. Sometimes in life, because we've made mistakes and we don't want to forget, we keep everything in our heart. And every time you want to live in the past, the thing that you did in the past, that pull you back. Because you cannot go to the future with the same past. Either you go back to the past, you stay in the past, or you move forward, be with a clean slate, with a new mind. And I think the Bible says, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So in order for us to build confidence in our life, we need to start changing the way we see ourselves, the way we see the world. Because the world you see is the one you're looking for. If looking for all the bad things in the world, this is what you constantly gonna see. But if you put your eyes on the positive things in life, positive thing will come. So I will advise everyone to build self-confidence. Self-confidence. The first thing you have to do is to love yourself. You are the first one to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, nobody gonna love you. When you love yourself, you're taking care of yourself. You do everything you have to do to make sure you put yourself where you want to. For me, definitely, I think building self-confidence for our life is one of the things I will advise everyone to do research, read books. And I got this book that I really like is the Power of Positive Thinking. This is one of the books that really changed my life by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. He was talking about positive thinking. He said positive thinking is both a philosophy and an expression of faith. You cannot be positive in this life. You cannot keep positive thinking if you do not have faith, if you do not believe in yourself, if you do not believe in anything. It's a philosophy. It's not something you do today and you forget about the tomorrow. It's like a constant battle. It's just a constant battle to make sure you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, everything we said we're going to do, we're going to teach people, we're going to preach, we're going to do, nothing can happen. People cannot get inspired from you if you do not really love yourself. I think self-confidence is the key if you really want to take your life to the next level.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you've done so much and you've done incredible work. And I'm so grateful for the fact that you're here to mentor others. With that, we're going to leave all the links below so that everyone can get in touch with you. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, September 4th is his birthday.
Send lots of gifts.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of the week.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that the discussion today will inspire you to take positive action in your life. Until next week, be empowered.